Alright. Kind of the match I was hoping we would get. In the top right side. Well, in a way, secretly, right? Not after Classic winning 2 games, but initially, when I saw the roster, it's like, ooh, this could turn into a Rogue versus Byun best of 5. Pretty cool, pretty cool. And here we are right now in the top right side. There he is. It's Rogue, a Dragon Phoenix gamer, and a Shopify Rebellion Terran player in the red. Byun. Alright. Hope you got your snacks. Hope you got your drinks. Hope you had your toilet break like I just had. Because there's no waiting around here at the Trovo series. That's what we call them, right? The Trovo series. The Trovo Super Series. Just the Trovo series. Yeah, I think that's the right decision there. Just the Trovo series. Alright. Oh. Oh. Early game things. Oh. That's something. That would be a way to cast the game, wouldn't it? Just not really making commentary, just being like, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's smart. Huh. It's not clarifying anything. Oops. Up the ramp. Alright, but let's not do that. Let's not do that. Factory with a Reaper. After that, Scout third base for Rogue on its way. Nice, bright and early. He's got himself the 4 Zerglings ready to defend. Queens are going to be ready too. This is a very late Reaper actually for this, right? It's a very, very late Reaper. Did he make a Marine first or something? What did he do? A double gas? Is that what slowed him down? Did he go for a CC first? What happened? I guess it was going on during all my noises. That's what you get. That's what you get. That's what I get, really. That's what you get now as well, because of me. Alright, focus. Back on. Back on. Laser sharp. Here we go. Zoom in. Yes. Okay, no. Alright, let's think this through. We see a starport with a tech lab not too far, as well as a couple of Hellions. I think the Hellion Banshee play would be the way to go with the triple CC, just a good way to kind of give yourself that security against anything Zerg can throw at you at the earlier stages of the game. Right, the Banshee deals with the Roaches, the Hellions deal with the Zerglings. Shabam, shaboom, you're ready, you're good to go. You got yourself a solid early game. Or at least one way you won't just straight up die most of the time, you know? You shouldn't. Potential for harassment, wonderful stuff. Love this build. Now for Rogue, what is he up to? Just kind of making queens. He's got himself a Evo Chamber wall in the making. Gonna be more difficult for the Hellions to perform a run-by this way, of course. Where's the first Banshee? The first Banshee right now on the field. Did it get cloaked? Didn't get cloaked. Did it get scouted? Didn't. It did get scouted. Yeah, okay, that makes sense then. Getting the cancel there. Alright. So you have the units coming in, turning back. Banshee at the potential 4th. It's kind of lurking there, waiting for creep tumors to spread or drones to try and become hatcheries. Queens are gonna have to respond to this, of course. Byun keeps the siege tank hidden. That's kind of nice, right? Keeping your opponent in the dark, whether he's going up against a siege tank or Widowmine composition. Looks like the Zergling composition already kind of chosen for Rogue, though, which is going to help out against that siege tank composition a little bit. Always feel like it does a bit better than the Roaches do. Against the siege tank, that is. Against Widowmine, of course, it's the other side of the coin. My case in point, I feel like, right? That was that was pretty clear. You got one siege tank, a couple of Zerglings, they run on top of you, and yeah, you're sitting there now. You're like, right, okay. I wish I had like a handgun or something I could use to shoot out of the window of the siege tank, but no, you're just you're just stuck there now. Just looking, waiting for those Zerglings to get into the tank. Man, that must be terrifying. Alright. Bit of creep denial. Doing a really good job with it so far. Even getting one of the further run-ins that I wouldn't have had the balls to try and get. But Byun does. Byun the ball fall. Little push. Armory. We do have an armory. Could transform these Hellions into Halberds if he really wants to. There are Banelings there though, so that could be a bit of a danger going in with too much of a one area push. Especially with these ramp choke points. Making things a little bit more difficult. Doesn't have the scan. Oh, there we go. There's the scan. Small creep gets denied. It's not even the place where most of the creep denial took place, but it's still enough to be a force to be reckoned with here. Zergling starting to set up shop on the right side and the left flank as well. Baneling speed just completed, so that might be the trigger. There we go. Zerglings almost get the wrap around the Marines. Not entirely though, so they do manage to pull out, but the siege tanks very quick to go down. One on the high ground getting a last volley there or two. Now turning into the Halberds. I don't think he's going to get too much out of this anymore. The Halberds are going to just go kablooey. Doesn't even really get the pickups on a lot of those Marines and a lot of those units right there. I thought the medevacs are going to have trouble picking everything up and there's just going to be a few units left stranded. But Byun fighting to the bitter end there. Trying to target down every single Baneling that he can. Now trying to come in pretty quick afterwards with his production cycles being on point. So he does have that secondary army ready to, well, as we can see, now start pushing a whole different area. Is that the wise choice? I'm not entirely certain, but well, let's see. Only two Banelings here. Rogue definitely struggling. He's trying to get up to Hive Tech already. May not be the moment in time for him to make this happen. Oh, okay, there we go. There's more Banelings right there on the other side of the map. Oh, needs to target them down. One more Baneling, two more Banelings remain. More, okay. Up in the medeffects. Never mind. Is it StarCraft 2? I don't think so, sir. I don't think so. This is the entirety of the universe. This is it. It's not StarCraft. It's the pinnacle of life. All right. That's not it. Yeah, it's a rough place to be for that siege tank once again. Still committed to the siege tanks. I suppose there's some really good areas, right? These ones over here, seemingly incredibly efficient. Pushing away from here once more. Lurker than in production right now for the Zerg player. I don't think that is going to be arriving in time. Making more and more Zerglings. He's just barely hanging on here. That's the problem. He is on 19 workers though, and he isn't really losing them. So I have a bit of faith. Another push on the other side. Not going to get much, I'm going to say. This side push seemingly a bit more important. But also still kind of leaning that Rogue will be able to fend off any damage there. Pretty much most of the damage that could occur here. Another pickup. I have to check the resources lost tab here actually, real quick. Yeah, that's some good efficiency from Byun. Needs to keep that up. Things are going to get a bit more hectic, of course, once the lurkers are out and about. But with this continuous pressure, it doesn't seem like Rogue has the opportunity to even make a couple of Hydralisk, right? Spend those resources on something else other than something that could just run at your opponent right now and try to take out as many siege tanks with you as possible. Doing a pretty good job once again. Is going to clean up this area. The right side seemingly cleaned up as well. This could be the moment for Rogue where he's finally got himself enough. Actually starting to do a counterattack immediately. I thought he would start up Lurker production, but instead we're just seeing more and more Zerglings in that production tab. I'm trying to run across the map here. Trying to just have this wave of Zerg now bully their way through, I imagine. Doesn't quite manage to make that happen though. Fortified Terrans is very difficult still to try and take out. A little burrowed Zergling there. Make it more difficult for Byun to do the expanding and macro that he would like to do here. That Banshee is still kicking as well, man. That is particularly impressive to me. Ooh. Trouble in paradise for the Terran. Might be the last moment for the Banshee here. Yeah, it is. Almost made it to the 13th minute. Both of them just trying to find whatever little value they can. Zerglings continuously roaming around the back, trying to find either counterattacks or, you know, reinforcements coming in with a little bit too few units to fully support the area. Zerglings on top of the new expansion of Byun are gonna make things a little bit hectic. And missed waypoint right there. Zerglings trying to move backwards and then, you know, moving back into the Marines. No, move command. Still more Zerglings arriving there. Byun, man, this is difficult to tell who's getting ahead. There's just action everywhere. Non-stop Vipers managed to clean out the siege tanks and Baneling connections right there. Very solid. Still the two siege tanks on the top though. Baneling's not gonna find too much value here either. 11 SCVs, all still replaceable for Byun here, I would say. But he would very much like it if he could start mining from this location at some point in the future, right? Rogue, he already has one base up on Byun regarding this spot right there, the center bases. And now he's starting to get ahead with two more. So almost the 3 bases ahead if Byun doesn't start kind of remedying that situation and start securing this area here. How many kills on that Banshee? We'll never know. You'll only find out once you've downloaded the replays, I guess. Which are available on the match arena. Might be it. This might be it. This could be it. I'm not entirely convinced if this will crack right now. No. lives. Well, will he live? Oh, those Banelings are close. So much happening right now. More Banelings in production. Hydralisk are gonna meet the Ghost. Ghost arriving at the exact right time. Finally, a real threat to those Vipers. Not gonna be able to just fly around without a fear in the world other than Marines. Snipes and EMPs now available. Must be watching. Yeah. How many kills were on that Banshee? Here we go. Here we go. Ooh, get out of there. Alright, alright. We finally do have, you know, this area officially belonging to the Terran. The right side of the map pretty much being submerged with creep right now. Becoming a Zerg aquarium. Be a big fight. Couple of harpoons. Not gonna find those medevacs fully though. Feels like there's so many fights that just don't have that much of an outcome of what is happening in the game, if that makes sense. I guess Byun is trading very efficiently though, looking at this. About 10k minerals ahead. Not bad. 10k minerals, I mean, to be fair, it's probably about having 3 extra bases mining for a while, right? For Rogue, that should make up for that. Any next step here for Byun? Trying to figure out if he's gonna try to get himself in a different type of army composition here later down the line. But doesn't seem to be the case so far. 9 siege tanks, a liberator, 13 ghosts. The rest is pretty regular Marine Marauder medevac numbers. Bangs that detonated on the units don't appear in the units lost. I think it appears though in the resources lost, doesn't it? Like, I don't think you get it here, but I think you get it in the numbers. I could be wrong on that though. I've never done any tests. Woo! That's not the place you want to go. That's not the place you want to go right now, bro. Has to back out of there. This is game number 1. Not popping away. This is just madness. How are they doing all of this? How are they everywhere on the map throughout this entire game? Good Baneling hits there once again. Getting quite a bit more value there. Yeah, it's the same with, like, for example, if you cancel a building, right? It does show up in the resources lost, I think. It shows up here, but then you don't have anything over here, right? Just tells you, like, yep, he lost 100 minerals there. They're all such small skirmishes, all across the map. And I'm not sure if that is in Rogue's best interest, in all honesty. What do you do here as Rogue? Because normally the idea is that you use the Zerg Baneling, right? And you just continuously run in, you take out large portions of the army of the Terran, and you take out bases, right? You just keep suicide bombing the ever-living Terran out of the Terran here. And then that's kind of how you do it. But I'm not seeing a lot of bases go down for Byun. I mean, he's losing units now and again, but he's managing to still trade efficiently. So even that's not really helping. So if it just keeps going like this, I feel like Byun is going to take it. Then again, what do you do as well, hold that thought for a moment. Could be proven wrong here, of course. Watch out for the Banelings and the Thors. Don't want to roll into those. Siege tanks, the spread of siege tanks getting an enormous amount of value, but there are the Banelings finally getting connections onto the ever so valuable Ghost. Not that many of them remain anymore. Pretty reasonable chunk of Terran army once again killed, but once again not a single base of his goes down. Supplies definitely telling a pretty bright tale now for Rogue, as Rogue is taking as well both corner bases here. So you know what, after that fight I've completely 180'd my opinion, and I think Rogue is gonna gonna win right now. That's right. That's right. I'm willing to just flip like that after one battle. This could be trouble. Yeah, this base is just not going to get constructed, right? That is... The top bases here are pretty okay. Because you can have the siege tanks here and you're defending like 3 bases. Maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe Byun needs to expand to the to this one over here, rather than, you know, forwards over here. I guess it feels like it's the way to go though, since, you know, you're gonna have to defend this place anyway for your production. Oh. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, orbitals, luckily for Byun, can fly, so avoiding the orbital death right there. Byun getting some scans on those bases that he's not quite certain about. Not scanning the bottom right side though, so not entirely certain. He knows exactly in what state this game is in. Not be able to pick off this hatchery either. More Zerglian harassment, starting to get some more SCVs killed. SCV kills not that crucial anymore. How many orbitals do we have? We have 9 of them. Yeah, definitely not as crucial anymore, those SCVs. In reality, you would like to rather get the orbitals in the planetary fortresses and stuff like that. Killing all the SCVs clearly would still be fantastic, but I think those are the easier targets in this at this stage. Maybe not for Zerglings and Banelings, but Hydras might be able to pick it off. Nope. Overstaying their welcome in the siege tank line fire, which we got 16 siege tanks off right now in total. Protecting three protecting the top left side, and that means we got 14 of them on this flank here. Right? Okay, so on one side we have 14 siege tanks, on the other one we have 3. Now, I get that this seems like the harder area to push, but, I mean, there is 11 less siege tanks here. This might be the way to do it. The Hydralisk pushing through could cause a lot of this army to dilute towards that area, as Rogue is still setting up another attack on that area as well. I guess this is the easier way into the Terran, as it's such an open area in comparison to this, right? Try to run a Baneling Zergling army through this little 2x2 grid. Byun's still not aware of this. Nope. Getting blue flame. Is this it? Is that orbital gonna go down? I think it might. Ghost hitting up the snipes pretty well. As the retreat of the Zerg sounds, they'll be able to pick off whatever they can. A Thor drop, wow. The 25-minute Thor drop. Of course, to get rid of that pesky hatchery that is trying to be constructed over here. Nice. I'm all for it. I like it. The Thor is such a cool unit, right? But yeah, like these hero moments, I like it. I would like it if that is the way you people use the Thor. Just like Thor drop down a hatchery. Don't have a full army of Thors. I think that would be boring, but if you could make it so that, you know, people have like 2 to 3 Thors maybe, I think that could be pretty cool. Not the greatest attack here for Rogue. Or is it? Always quite difficult to tell, but no sir, I was right. That did not go great. Only 2 SCVs go down. A good amount of siege tanks, I suppose, but still way more Zerg getting slain. Talking about Zerg that needs to be slain, there's a 6 o'clock base right here. A base that I imagine sometimes gets taken as a 3rd base, right now being taken as the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th, well, potentially 11th if we count this one as well. The 11th base for Rogue. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. Don't see that every day. Spore crawlers trying to make their way across the map as well. So the Lurkers now finally having arrived on the battlefield. I've been raving on about them for such a long time now, but they have arrived, and that is going to lay quite a claim to this bit of land. With the Ghost still there available and the siege tank's not too far away, you're gonna have to retreat once more. 18 SCVs getting slain. This is a awkward moment. This is, you know, the equivalent for StarCraft 2 players. There's 2 girls wearing the same dress to the ball. Yeah, but well, we'll have to see how that situation remedies itself eventually. It inevitably will. Otherwise, this hatchery's just got himself a new hat. So, snipes, quick! I think Rogue might be able to start taking this here. She's been able to take too many bases. Right? He's definitely slowly losing a lot of units here. But, oh, he taps out. Byun wins. Huh. Definitely was a bit early. You think so too, Pewee? Yeah. I thought he had it. Honestly thought he had it. I don't think he had to push into there. I guess in his mind, right, if Byun gets to mine from that base, he'll probably push me away from that other base that is close by, and I won't have any mining anymore. And he's just gonna take control. Like, I can see why he did it. You know? Then he lost each and every lurker trying to end it. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, 60 army supply. I don't know. Still had about 30 himself. No lurkers, to be fair. But, you know, the thing about Siege Tank Ghost Army, Zerglings do pretty good against it. Especially if it's trying to push you, you know, rather than you pushing into it. But oh well. Oh well. It's all in the past now. All we can do is think about it. Oh. Sorry. Maybe analyze the game in a replay or something like that, if that's your thing. If that's your thing. Third base, talking about things. Third base over here as well. Both of them. It's both of their thing. This is a long day. This is a long day of StarCraft 2, isn't it? For at least for what it is. 3 best of 5s. We're only 1 game down in the third best of 5. You know, in theory, we could only be 2/3, well, a little bit over 2/3 of the way done here. Which would mean this keeps going for another near 2 hours. Wait, is that right? You know what? I'm gonna say this. You all will believe me because I say it is true. And then someone in the chat will be like, no, I did the maths. It's not correct. And I'll be like, ha ha ha. Banned. You're banned. No. Couple of Hellions looking for trouble. Double NG Bay. Double Evo Chamber as well. It's gonna take a while before that gets starting on any upgrade stuff. Putting it on the third base as well. Interesting. Interesting place. Making a big old highway behind those minerals, pretty much. Being a little bit passive with the Hellions here. Being very careful, actually. Doesn't want to suddenly lose them due to a Zergling surround. That would be quite despicable, of course, to have happen. It's a lot of queens. Yeah. Look at those. Look at those ladies. Look at them ladies. It's a lot of them. I could start a Zergling club. The base having a little bit of trouble there. As my voice is having a little bit of trouble here. Fourth base. Okay, okay. There's another hatchery in the main base. Wants to most likely fully commit to the Zergling Baneling once again. And that is a very solid surround right there. Everything is going to go down. Those medevacs, they were on their way, but they were a little bit too far off. So that is a wonderful start there for Rogue as he immediately takes the initiative. As Byun steps even, well, a little bit closer to the proximity of that creep. It just absolutely jumped onto. Very decisive by Rogue. A wonderful decision right there. Well done indeed. Now, that's going to put Byun a little bit on the back foot. Doesn't mean he's not going to be able to get anything done anymore, as he will be sending 2 medevacs across. They have gone unnoticed up until now. Starting to put a little bit of pressure onto this 5th base. You know what, that's going to have to be cancelled. So that is definitely a victory right there for the Terran fans. As Rogue will maintain security of his main base here. Very well done. Might be even able to strand most of the Marines here. No transfuse, so a Queen does go down. Of course, you can't transfuse off of creep anymore, so it's not a dig on the Rogue. But it is what it is right now, right? He's gonna have to deal with some of those queens getting picked off a little bit more often now and again. Oh, setting off a couple of Widow Mines right there. That's a massive one. That was a massive hit. That was a lot of Banelings. I bet that was all the 8 Banelings that are dead right now. I bet they were. Byun should be able to pick up from this location here and manages to get another successful Widow Mine hit right there as well to end it with. As he once again is trading phenomenally well and still taking out a couple of creep tumors here, trying to poke in once again. I think he misclicked, perhaps trying to target down a queen, or had larger ambitions than he really could take on in that moment. +2/+2 for both of the players as well in production. A little bit quicker there for Rogue. Looks like it was sitting idle, those 2 engineering bases of Byun for a little bit. Considering how much quicker he had those engineering bases in comparison to the Evo chambers. Down with the SCVs. Don't like this push from Rogue actually. Oh, this could backfire. He might just... Okay, well, you know, he's getting on top of those Marines here. He's doing an okay job. Still has more than enough circlings there. You know what? Actually... Very... no, there's more reinforcements. It's gonna still be pushed out of here. And once again, I have no idea what to make out of that, as they both really don't have that much left anymore. Once again. I guess just trading out somewhat equally overall is gonna benefit. I want to say Rogue, but at the same time I want to say Byun. Because Byun is keeping well up with the pace of expanding here. I think Byun is in a really good spot actually. Alright, yep. I've gone full swing into Byun right now. Banelings. Finding the Marauders. Enough Zerglings left now to clean up the Marines. Doesn't look like it. Rogue is being so aggressive. Like, he is just non-stop sending units in throughout the previous game as well, a couple of times. As well versus, what was it? Classic, right? We also saw this against Classic earlier. Feels like Rogue just kind of wants these games to be ending a little bit quicker than they perhaps officially should, right? To play it extremely safe. Looks like he's taking a couple of risks more so than we would. Well, I'm accustomed to seeing him play in bigger tournaments like this, right? Which makes sense. Still money on the line, but of course it's not a big championship title prize pool that is available to win here, so maybe something of that being a bit of an influence. Rogue behind on supply right now. As the everlasting battle here still continues. Those were really good with, well, sorry, Baneling connections though. Just a couple of Banelings being sent in, really, to set off what I imagine to be Widow Mines, but getting a big clump of Marines. And now is that going to be enough to let the Flood, Overlings, and Banelings reign supreme? We're getting really close. I think that was it. That one Baneling connection there, finally allowing the Zerglings access onto the SCVs and dealing a game-ending amount of SCV damage. Still have another base, a planetary fortress over here. The production is still safe as well, but a lot of the economy of Byun there going up in flames, of course. Still 60 SCVs. How many orbitals are we on right now? It's only 3 of them, together with the planetary. Let's see, beyond his plan right now, we're not seeing too much SCV reproduction. He's just focusing on trying to make that army once again. As he knows, most likely, another wave of Zerglings and Banelings is already, you know, constructing, getting ready for another assault. As we're talking about it, here it comes. Widowmine's not in the ground, but a good bunch of Marauders ready to take the meat of the assault right there. Look at how many Banelings that one Marauder right here managed to tank. It's almost saddening that we don't see, like, we don't have counters for each unit individually. Like, I survived this many Banelings, you know, that would have been, that would be quite something on that Marauder right there, right now. Okay. So Byun stays alive. Kept his economy good this time around as well in that charge. But with Vipers also in the mix. The Zerglings now finding the SCVs. Will all of this change in a couple of seconds here? Widowmine does still get set off. A little bit unfortunate. 3 medevac drop on the 6 o'clock. Have to find security behind the mineral patches. What a good Widowmine connection. Good trading. Sets up a little bit further along the track. Banelings over here trying to find some value as well in the middle of the map. Some units of the Terran a little bit lost with where to go. Another base at the 12 o'clock trying to be claimed by Byun. It's going to be a great foothold for him to try and push the other bases here. Medevacs do manage to escape regardless of being harpooned by the Vipers. Marine shoots stim. There we go. There's too many Zerglings now. It's going to have to start picking up again. Another good Widowmine hit. 10 kills on this one. 10 kills on this one. One shot, 10 kills, as the saying goes for each Widowmine. Careful with those drops. They're quite valuable right now. You want to keep them alive as much as possible. It's the way you maintain a bit of value that you can get here. Being Byun. Getting rid of a lot of those Banelings though. Do we still have any left? No, we do not actually. All the Banelings are gone right now. This is a big moment here potentially for Byun. Not a single Baneling on the field. There we have 12 of them in production, but they're not quite here yet. There's the Stim ready to take down any Zergling that tries to come close. The hatchery gets taken out as well. The drop over here still continuing onwards. Denying any mining. There's a hatchery being built a little bit to the left. They might be able to start applying pressure towards Banelings. Find a reasonable chunk of Marines right there. A single kill Matt Widowmine. That is an amateur Widowmine, as we like to call it. That push, well, at least the drop push finally being cleaned up. Rogue. I think Rogue found his way into a bit of a grave here. If not a grave, a very grave situation. I think once again he may have tried to overcommit to the aggression a little bit. Trying too quickly to knock out his opponents. And not letting the game slowly move towards the point where his opponent is dried out. We've been here before. This man, 2 points down in the best of 5 today. What's his plan? We see a spawning pool first. Dragon Phoenix Gamerman Rogue. Bottom left side, the red Terran Menace. 2 points on the board right now, taking them ever so cleanly, seemingly, well, as clean as a game like that gets, I suppose. Shopify Rebellion. Byun. Alright. Looks like we're going into game number 4. Looks like we're going to game number 4. If Rogue messes this up, then I'm gonna assume we are. It's just not him playing, right? It's just not him. It's his little brother, something like that. Though if he does mess up, now that would be kind of rude. But I mean, he's got in the scout. He's got a spawning pool first. He could still lose the game, that's for sure, as he is committing to the Roach Warren. I still very much like his odds, though. I still very, very, very much like his odds. Couple of Zerglings coming in, ready to interrupt the mining here. Wants to stop, or sorry, not the mining, the construction of the barracks. Manages to do it. This, ooh, the other SCV also getting picked off. There we are, there we are. Right, right. Are we all on the rogue train right now? Are we all arriving at the same station? I think we might be. 3 roaches in production. What can Byun do against this? What can Byun do against 3 roaches right now? He can make a factory. Oh, this is rough. Oh, this is so rough. Oh, he's finding the Marines as well. No, that's 50% of the entire army. He's gonna make this game. Maybe. Sees the Ravager quickly turning around. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Command center in the main base. I mean, you gotta love his guts, right? You gotta love his guts. He's like, you know what? If I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down in glory. GG is called. There we are. Well. This seems oddly familiar. Bottom left side, a red Zerg. He's done it once before, hasn't he? He's done it today. He's done it. He's gone and done it today already. Will he do it again? A reverse all sweep? Is it possible? 2 in a row? Dragon Phoenix Gamers. Rogue. If anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be this guy right here. Bottom right side, Blue Terran. Shopify Rebellion. Definitely a guy we know to be able to get victories. Let's see if he manages to get it right here, right now. Blue Terran Shopify Rebellion. Byun. What would be the last map? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I can ask Inu. Last map? Wait. What is map 5? I think you should get that. I'll just ask him. Hardwire. Alright. Alright. Hardwire. There you go. It's hardwire. It's not pride. No cynical. Don't be that cynical. Byun wins already? Wow. Such confidence. Like you've never seen this man play before. You know what he's done? He's won a lot of stuff, alright? He's won a lot of stuff. You know how he does it? By winning. That's right. And, you know, I don't want to say that I fully know how he does it, but I think that's the gist of it. Free base economy coming up for Byun. Quicker than the 3rd base of Rogue. Don't think Rogue is going to try to find any opportunity to be aggressive here, so Byun should be able to get away with this. Not bad. Doesn't get the creep tumor though. Can't have it all in life, I suppose. Couple of Hellions. Couple of Rascals. The Hellions and the Rascal. It's like a band, isn't it? There's a band name in there somewhere. The Rascal and the Hellions. The Rascal being the Reaper. The Hellion-led Reaper. Alright, that's somewhere in there. You pick and choose. You pick and choose your next band name from that. It's all yours to use. I promise. Well. Definitely not the guy you expect to be going mech anyway, right? Byun. Surprised we haven't seen a Hellbat push though. That is definitely that's quite remarkable actually. Not seeing a single Hellbat push in a best of 5 in a TVZ when Byun is involved. So you know, in a way we are witnessing history perhaps in that remark already. Again, he could just do it later down the line, right? What if he does it game number 5? We know he has the balls for it. we know he has the cojones to make something like that be attempted. Circling style, circling banging once more from Rogue. Trying to secure the 4th base right at this moment, which will be the gold base. Hellions already kind of setting up for areas here, trying to maneuver their way into potential fire hazards for the later on drones. Actually moving back quite far. Oh, he's looking for run-bys. There we are. Finds them. Hiccups. It's the reaction of the Zergling once he sees those heights. Oh no. Hydralisk then. Quite early on here for Rogue. Not something we've seen so far in this best of 5 from him. Wondering what kind of triggered him to go for this. I suppose it could just all be about the map, right? A lot of these choke points. Kind of one area to run up and down, trying to just lock down the areas for the lurkers to control. In theory, could be pretty good here. Also in practice because of that. Not that many medevacts around for Byun. He may have left himself stranded here a little bit. The Hellbats definitely get blown up quite quickly, and only 5 Marines get out of that Hindenburg experience right there. All the SCVs working together. Warms the heart to see. Station pit coming up, so yeah, it's looking like he doesn't want to go for the Hydra Ling Bane, but just once again going for those lurkers, right? Getting a lot of upgrades right now, as he still has a bit of gas to spend before he really starts up that production. Wait, how many Hydras? 0. 0 Hydras. He's getting himself Hydralisk upgrades, though. I guess this is for later down the line. Gonna have to have Hydras anyway, right? If you want to go for lurkers. Banging speed. Still in production. It's funny to see Baneling Speed and a Lurker Den and Hive Tackle coming up at the same time. Creep spread from Rogue. Doing pretty good. As we're speaking, of course, it is getting cleaned up. Unnecessary Terran brush on this entire area right here. There we go. Getting rid of a couple of queens also. Make it more difficult to respread that creep. That could be a big deal for later down the line, right? We are playing with a lurker style here. The less creep you have, the less vision you have, the less awareness you have, and well, they don't burrow as quickly as they're used to anymore, right? Two Nidus networks though. Oh, that is such a cool play here from Rogue. Coming in a bunch of Zergling Bane into their depths. Once again, the suicide attacks have started to commence. Trying to find weaknesses in the armor of the Terran. The thing I feel like Rogue is really good with, though, is once he's made a decision, not to backtrack, right? Like, once he's made a decision, he's very good at realizing, like, okay, do I need to turn back? You know, especially if it's like a wrong decision. It's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done this. But does retreating at this point in time still help me out? And sometimes the answer is no, because you're still going to get shot anyway by everything coming in from a distance as you're trying to retreat. So sometimes it's better to just sit there, deal more damage and let your units die. Of course, definitely not the case here for Byun to let these units die, not in his best interest, that's for sure. Realizing this quickly, coming in with the rest of his forces, but it's taken him a while, losing 10 SEVs here, stunting him quite a bit with the gold mineral mining. So we can see more than 1,000, actually more than almost 2,000 extra minerals income right now being achieved by Rogue, shutting down the gold mineral mining while he is still mining there happily for himself, and having a whole extra base on top of that as well. So yeah, that is going to be quite a spike right there in the income advantage. There you go. And guess what's good? With, you know, what kind of tactic is great to use when you have a big economic advantage? It's running in Zerglings and Banelings. Over and over again. I think the writing is starting to get on the wall, guys. For this series, right? I think we know. Rogue will win. He will get the reversal sweep. He is SC2 Jesus. It's the Messiah. He's the perfect man. The perfect human being. We found him. No, you'd think if he is the perfect human, why does he lose the first two games every time? Create tension. Doesn't want the other guys to feel too bad about losing to him every single time 3-0. Makes for more exciting best of fives. Puts their opponent on sharp, so you know that they are ever so keen on just getting that final victory. Make them play just a little bit quicker, a little bit better perhaps. And then he kills them. Jeez Louise. Well, it's not done yet. Rogue definitely could do one of those maneuvers where he kind of pushes into an area where he's got really no business of pushing into. Having a bit of that vibe right now. Some of the Baneling still connecting onto the Ghost front. But that's a lot of lurkers also going down in the process. Let's take a look at the units lost tab. And we can clearly see, once again, Byun being the one that is much, much more the thingamajiggies, you know? You know. Trading better. The all-purpose tool of language, the thingamajiggy. I wonder where that word came from.
Is it even officially a word? I don't know. Anyway.
Zerglings on a counter-attack death spree right now in the SCV line. More workers. Harmless little worker bees getting eaten up by the ever so terrifying insect creatures from outer space. Topside base for Byun could be in a little bit of trouble here as the lurkers try to take position. Zerglings getting a pretty reasonable surround at first sight on the Ghost, but seemingly not enough of them there to really solidify that position and start putting the hurt on those Ghosts. They still remain, get healed up by the medevacs and ready to push out once again against a full body of lurkers. More and more resources that Rogue is generating here are going up in smoke once again. Far, far behind on the trading skill. Pretty much double on both the resources now. Yeah, he has a couple of extra mining bases, but, well, might not be enough. Might not be enough. Rogue. To be fair, it is getting a little bit later there in the southern parts of Korea. The sunny southern parts of Korea. It's probably about, what, 1 AM right now? 12? Somewhere around there. So might be anxious to try and finish this game off, which could go to his detriment, because that could mean in game number 5 if he doesn't manage to complete his mission. So far, though, you know what? Those Banelings, once again, just a little bit short of the actual Ghost army. And that's the main meat of things. They are the important units that Byun wants to try and keep alive. Lurker here on the high ground does get taken out as well. 22 SCVs have been brought to their graves, but 10 orbitals, though, baby. 10 orbitals. That is quite the hefty amount of mules ready to be dropped out of the sky. Thing for mules to be set, though. There's not that many mineral patches left for Byun to mine from, so he's gonna have to be careful with how he uses these mules as well and how quickly he is going to grab himself another base or two, or somewhere, anywhere, right? He needs something here, because there's just those 5 mules are gonna mine this out very, very quickly, and then he's left with no bases to mine from practically. Once again, absorbing the Zergling Baneling assault quite well. Pushing it back. Going up to the mouth of the Zerg. The Zerg's behind. Nidus worm. Sure, guys. Let's call it a worm. Pushing up into the 12 o'clock. That is very good stuff for him. Before Rogue ever managed to really start mining from there efficiently. So a lot of minerals left up on top, and now Rogue even doubling down on this position and sending his entire army and trying to deal with his Terran. That's already pretty much set up on the assault here. It's not going to happen, and Rogue, oh dear, he may be looking at his final moments right now as he is trying to do counterattacks as a desperate act of aggression. But yeah, that is just nowhere near enough. GG is called. Byun takes the last game in the series here, 3-1, and well, there's no reversal sweep a second time apparently. I guess he isn't the supreme human being.